Hearty shalom to you. Jeffrey Seif here. Glad you're there. Say it all the time. It's true every time I say it. As I was preparing to give a Bible study today, it just struck me, goodness, we're really close to the end of the book. I don't know what's next. Maybe Daniel will get smart and fire me. But I want you to know it really has been a pleasure just to open up the Bible and share it. I mean, I feel that all the time. A career as a Bible college professor in school. I work in TV. You see me on Daystar with Zoe Levitt Presents and in short order on TBN under the title Our Jewish Roots. I have opportunity to teach all the time. I love it. Whether I'm speaking to you from my personal study with a little iPhone or whether I'm in a professional grade studio, it's all good. It's just an honor to teach the Word. Paul is on a journey, just as we all are, and he had been marooned, problems with shipwreck and people and circumstance. We're told in chapter 28, and I'm picking up in verse 11 that, one boat's destroyed, he gets on another one. This one had on the figurehead these twin brothers, so-called. We're told in verse 11, hearkening to two brothers that are adjudged to be the patron deity, according to the pagans, of navigation. Well, actually, it wasn't the pagan deities of navigation that got Paul safely to Rome as much as it was the Lord himself. We're told while they're on the journey, and I'm looking at verse 14, they found, Luke notates different stops along the way. And here we found in verse 14 some brothers and sisters, and we were invited to stay with them for 7 days. And in this way we came to Rome, Luke says. Now, just one point to pivot from. There's nothing like fellowship. We'll see this again before we get out of the chapter. Hearts encouraged by virtue of association with other people. Christianity is a team sport. To walk with the Lord, it's not just you and him alone. There's a good chance you don't have God as your father if you don't have the church as your mother. There's some kind of community to participate in, and people forever in our culture push away from community. I know community is difficult because people can be tough, but it's a growth producer. I got news for you. Every morning I get up and I'll run 5 to 10 miles. That's tough, but you know what? It's a growth producer. If I'm not running, I'll go to the gym for 2 hours, lift weights. That's tough too. It's a growth producer. You don't run away from the pain. You accept it because that's what translates you into something other than what you are. This recoiling and retreating from others is unacceptable. It's not the way the game is played. Here, you do find disappointments with people, to be sure. You also find warm friendship and fellowship. And it's great while Paul's on the road that he bumps into some mishbucha, some brethren. We're told in verse 15, now the brothers there, when they heard about us, came as far as the Forum of Appius and the 3 taverns to meet us. They arrive in Rome now, and when the believers in Rome, referred to here as brothers, again, filial language. Paul had never been to Rome before he was arrested and taken there courtesy of the empire with a centurion guarding him all the while. But Paul's reputation preceded him, and when word got out that he was there, then we're told by Luke that the brothers started coming. And again, the filial language is significant. Today, in church, well, brother so-and-so, sister so-and-so. It's nice, and you don't have to remember first names. Hello, brother, hello, sister. You don't even have to remember last names. Hello, brother, hello, sister. It can be such common usage. It loses its import to think for a moment that we're part of a new family. The filial language here, to me, is not insignificant. It's oft used, so it's become irrelevant in modern parlance, verbal back and forth. But truth be known, Paul and Luke, his biographer, don't live in that world. He's a stranger, in effect, far away from home, never been there before, comes there under less than perfect circumstances after an arduous journey. Word gets out and the brothers come, the family comes. We're told that when Paul saw them, he gave thanks to God and took courage. It's the old Himne Matova Manayim Shevet Gam Yachad. Behold how good it is when brethren dwell together in unity. Again, there's something to be gained. And I mention that here because Paul sees the brethren coming, and remember, he's in the middle of an ordeal. He's going to stand before the powers that be that are going to decide his fate. But when he sees the love extended, the kindness from the brethren who want to go out of their way to meet him, he sees that, and it encourages him. We're told then in verse 16, when we entered Rome, and notice the we in verse 16. Luke is part of the trip here. He's not just doing research. Luke had to research because he came late. Luke actually made his way into the book 12 chapters previously. In chapter 16, Luke joins Paul on a second missionary journey when he's overland through modern Turkey, ancient Asia Minor. And he's with them now, and it's great to see old friends stay with you, as with Luke, and to meet new friends. It really is encouraging. I commend it to you. Don't withdraw. We're told when we entered Rome, Paul was permitted to remain in his own quarters with a soldier guarding him. He wasn't thrown into a dungeon here. It's a kind of house arrest. And I'd imagine the brethren helped arrange for that as well. Very, very interesting. Well, we're going to pick up on this again in a week in verse 17. I want to walk slowly to the finish line because I'm kind of sorry to get out of it, but get out I must. We're looking in Acts chapter 28. Paul, we begin with his coming to faith, and we followed in his footsteps. And here in verses 11 through 16, we find that finally Paul has made his way to Rome. Let's do it again in a week. Ciao.